Hello guys, in this video I want to show you how to make side pockets in a skirt. And first I transferred my pattern details on the fabric. I adjusted a little bit side seams to make my skirt a little bit more narrow at the bottom line. Then I cut pattern details, I transferred all marks and notches at the hip line, and now I'm ready to make my pockets. You can use the same technique, of course, for making them in pants or in dresses, any other garment. So, as you can see, this is a front detail, this is a back detail. And the back detail usually has longer darts. So this is a front detail, and I just marked along of the regular side seam. I just marked along of the top edge 5 centimeters. If you are measuring in inches, let me double check it. Yes, it's 2 inches here, and I marked it about 6.5 inches down. So the opening to the pocket will be like, you see, this way going. So if you are smaller size, you can mark it smaller. If you're, it's just totally up to your design, up to your preferences. But in my particular way, so 2 here and 6.5 here. Okay, so then I will cut this corner. I will cut this corner with the seam allowances, about 1 centimeter. See? Don't throw this away. If you don't have it marked on your pocket or on your pattern, if you didn't mark it. So what I will do, I will also mark it here. So it will be 5 along to the top and 16 over here. So, and I will connect this line. This will be actually easier to transfer it now to the side detail of the pocket, or the front part, and to cut lining. Actually, if it's easier to transfer it on the another side, you can also fold it along on this line and transfer it on the other side. See? So, okay, good. So now I can use this pattern from either side. So, okay, this is done. Now I will need to cut side detail, but also need to prepare this little piece of interfacing, adhesive interfacing, and we need to apply it exactly along of this edge to reinforce it and prevent it from stretching. So we will need 2 little strips like this. Okay, so I just prepare them right away. Now I can actually put this part aside, and I can prepare my lining. And I have a little bit leftover fabric that will be absolutely enough for using for this side part. So let me iron it and iron my lining, and I will be back. Okay, so I just applied interfacing on these cut edges on the front details, and I prepare my leftover fabric for cutting the side of the pocket and actually this facing of the pocket at the same time. So if you're working with a pattern and you made this line on a pattern, this will be the easiest way to do. If you don't have, and you have just this cut piece, then you need to transfer this line and put this piece and kind of play with this accordingly, what I will show you now here. But most of the time you have your pattern, so just do the same way how I will do it now. So we will need to cut two details. One detail will go from this edge all the way like down, forming the side part of the actual skirt, right, before the entering to the pocket, and also will create the facing, what will be visible while this part of the pocket is opening when you put your hand into the pocket. And another part that will go from this edge at the same shape, we will cut from lining. You will see it now. But what I need to do first is to draw the line of the lining inside of the pocket. So for me, I don't want to make it very deep, so it will be approximately like this shape. See, so this is the actually entrance to the pocket, and this, so I will create it. I will finish just before the dart. I don't want to make it thicker, this part. So I'll draw along like this, and from here a little bit like this. See, approximately. If you want to make it like longer, up to you. I know some people like to make it big enough so they can put a cell phone in. This is not my priority for this particular pocket. It's more like decorative element in this skirt, so I will just make it smaller. So you can, of course, after you made approximate lines, you can create more straight lines. See? And now what we need to do, we need to cut from the same like main fabric. Make sure, like in my way, like in my case, the fabric has like this little kind of direction of the fiber on the surface. So I just need to make sure that I am putting along of the main direction of this fiber. So in my case it goes just like this. So let me see, you see good? Okay, so, and again, make sure the direction of the grade line is the same on this part, on this piece of fabric. So and we'll also leave seam allowances on the top. And you see, I mark this line here, I mark this line over here, and I create this side edge. See, if you want to be more precise, even you can, like you see, I transfer this particular corner right here. See? So you can connect it. And what I also need to mark here is the edge of the like two sides of the pocket, of the entrance to the pocket. So here, see, continuation of this line, and here like a stopping point. See, the anchor point of this line. Okay. Then I will connect these two marks. I mean, you don't need actually to connect. You just need to make these marks over here. It just will be easy for you to understand, especially if you're making it for the first time. So what I will need to cut now, basically I will also leave seam allowances the same way how I have it here, you see, at the top, and I will leave seam allowances along, I mean, basically along of all detail, around all edges. I will leave seam allowances. So with this detail we are done. And the second part, what we need to cut is basically the same line, but just from this line, see here, this will be inside of the pocket. And that's it. Now I will leave seam allowances around each edge. Okay, wonderful. Now what I will do, I will mark with the little notches. See this line, the same. See the same mark on this detail right here. You see this and the top edge of the pocket also. Small notches just in the middle of the seam allowances. Okay, so this way, this will be the entrance and actually the side, you see the side of the skirt or pants, depends on where you make it. Okay, this is wrong side of course, but you will see now how I make it. So now we can move to the sewing part, and we will work only with the front part, front detail. So now we can open it. See the wrong side goes down like that. The right side, the upper side goes up, and we will attach now our lining parts. So right side up, we need to find the right side of lining. So as we fold it right side inside, so this will be right side here, will go to the right side over here, and this with the right side goes here. See, it will fit exactly along all these edges. So I will make sure that this edge is even, both edges are even, this also, these both edges are even. I will pin it, you see, along of this edge. Okay, the same I will do with this, with the second side. Okay, now I can stitch it here and here. And for stitching, I recommend you to use the main detail that is that has interfacing as a top layer. You see, and this bias cut edge of the lining put on the bottom. This way you will secure these two edges. It will prevent any like slippering and sliding against of other layer. So here also at the bottom you have two different ways how you can finish it. So at the top you can see I started right from the edge, right? And here when you approach your the end of the pocket, you can either turn your stitching line here and finish exactly across of this notch, or you can continue this line up to the edge of the fabric. Both ways are correct. You just need to make sure which point you need to connect with the same notch on the side detail. You will see it later, but just keep it in mind. Or like this way with the turning point, or just go straight. The next step on this fabric, particular this very stiff lining fabric and this very thick top fabric, I will do it now without ironing because it's very easy to form. You see this like a rib or edge here, and turning like line. If you're working with much softer fabric, I would definitely advise you first to iron all the seam allowances towards the lining part, and then stitch top stitching like about 1 millimeter, very, very close to the line, just fixing this line, this seam allowances with the lining. It will be looking like this, and then when we iron this folding line, see, it will help us to create very crisp, like straight folding line, very straight edge of the entering to the pocket. At the same time, we will not have any top stitching on the right side. If you want to have top stitching on the right side, now you can stitch it, of course, like wider, as wide as you want according to your design idea. So you can stitch even two top stitching. One is about 2 millimeters, one like 6 millimeters, kind of like we have on denims, but it's totally up to your design. The bare minimum, this is what we need to do to create this crisp folding edge along of the entrance to the pocket. Okay, now I'm gonna iron it. Okay, so now you can see this is our stitched part. Top stitching is right here, so we will create a little bit, it's a kind of visible part of the main fabric on the wrong side, also like about 1 millimeter. So this way you will ensure that you will not see these edges, these stitching lines on the right side. You see, it will be absolutely like clear and very accurate looking. So, and your interfacing will help to also to fix it in this certain position. And so I will turn it just like this. Make sure you have a steam. You have steam on your iron, and now looks, see, very polished, I would say. So the same from the other side. Okay, so now our right side will be looking like this. This is our two pieces that are left and that we need to attach also. Make sure you have notches, see, across of the beginning and finishing the pocket according to your pattern and how we cut it. Then, so this is the right side. Then we need to put right side up and right side up. Actually, yeah, this goes here, so up and right side up. See? So the same detail, and then, so this is beginning, this is the end of the pocket. The same is here, beginning and the end of the pocket. And what we need to do, we just shift it. So I will put these parts together. See, these parts together, the notch and the top, the beginning of the pocket, and I will pin it. See, creating the straight line here. The same I will do over here. So this is good. And on the edge over here, so you can see it may look a little bit like out of actually thing, because this is where our pocket is finishing, but remember, right, we stitched past this line, past this mark on when we was attaching lining. We stitched past and to the end of this line, right? So if you will count the seam allowance on this side, you see it's about 1 centimeter, right? So then you can see that actually the connection, you see this this point and connection with the entrance to the pocket line are actually exactly at the same level. See, don't get confused with this part. I know a lot of you got confused what to do, that something wrong. Nothing is wrong, everything is correct. Even if you open this and you find the notch over here, you will see that this notch kind of at the same level with this notch, you see, inside. So what I will do, I will mark it how it is and I will pin it together. Pocket, it's totally fine. And the same I will do now over here. So this is my mark. And that's how this line goes. And at the level of 1 centimeter, see? So this will be a side seam, right? Connecting between, connecting the front part and the back part. And exactly at this line, see, will be the crossing point of the finishing of the pocket, and the side seam will be exactly across of this notch, of this mark. Okay, so everything good. So basically these seams need to be in sync. These seams need to be in sync. What is left is stitching these parts of lining together. Other side. Just to make sure you now understand what we do, what we will do next. We will stitch only this side, we will turn and stitch this side. Only lining, only lining part, this and this. Okay, then we need to overlock it, these two sides, and then we will treat this seam as a one piece. Now, to finish pockets, we need to stitch these two sides and overlock it. Now my pockets are finished. I can continue finishing my skirt. So this is how they will be looking from the inside. See? from the right side. See? If you have top stitching, of course, you will do it as I mentioned it. And this is what we have. See, entrance to the pocket, lining here with the top stitching only visible on the right, from the inside. See, the side facing. That's it. I hope you have this feeling of easier process of making these pockets, because it's really one of the easiest techniques, much easier than making welt pockets or jetted pockets. So wishing you a very good, successful sewing journey, and see you next time. Ciao!